guys, ADPC Customs here. We're going to have a quick chat about a bit of tech news. Everybody knows what's been going on lately. If you haven't heard about it, how come? Big blue screen of death globally, thanks to Crowdstrike. So what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss this, and we are going to try and demystify it a bit for those who don't fully understand what has been going on. So basically, we've had a big outage thanks to one small update. It's only affected Windows systems, but we've had one big outbreak of a problem. And a few people might be panicking, thinking their systems are at fault. A few people might not be. A few people might be thinking, oh, it's the coming of the apocalypse. But hey, we're going to try and discuss this and try and demystify it a little bit. This is what we've all been greeted with, or what a lot of companies rather have been greeted with. So let's get into this a little bit. It's not going to be a long video. It's just going to be a short video discussing what went off. So let's try and explain it. On Friday, today is Monday the 22nd, so on Friday, we woke up to the news that there'd been a global problem IT-wise. So on Friday, millions of Windows computers worldwide suddenly crashed, displaying the blue screen of death, as everyone knows it. What caused it? Basically, a standard update to CrowdStrike's Falcon sensor program. CrowdStrike are a US-based cybersecurity company, and they released this update for Windows to address, obviously, some issues that they were having with the software, or to update virus definitions or whatever it was. I'm not 100% on the exact details of what the update was supposed to be updating. Unfortunately, this caused some problems. So what actually went wrong? Well, the update triggered a logic error, resulting in operating system crashes. Mac and Linux users were not affected by this because it was a Windows update. It was an update for Windows software. Must be pointed out, because I initially thought this and I was ready to jump right back on my Windows, my Microsoft Windows hate bandwagon again. It was not triggered through Microsoft Update. It was through the Falcon Update software, through the software itself. So the Falcon software, when it went into update, when it decided to update, it downloaded this update, and that's what caused the problem. To explain this a little more, a logic error occurs when coding mistakes lead to a program malfunction. The Falcon sensor program, designed for malware protection and incident response, inadvertently wreaked havoc. Now we're talking airports, hospitals. This is the major issue that everyone's talking about. Everyone's comparing it to Y2K. Y2K never actually happened, and what happened with this particular major IT crash was nothing like what was being predicted for Y2K. Still not good. So what was the impact and the resolution of this? Airports faced chaos, supermarket checkouts malfunctions, journalists struggled without essential tools. Plenty of things happened. You've probably seen the memes by now. You've probably seen Dr. Joke images of what would happen, what happened to a lot of things. Everything had blue screen of death everywhere. Basically, anything running Microsoft Windows and CrowdStrike faced this blue screen of death. Russia was unaffected. due to the sanctions placed on Russia. Linux users were unaffected because the update was for the Windows version of the software. Mac users were unaffected due to the nature of it being a Windows software update. Again, this was not Microsoft's fault, although Microsoft have been stepping in to try and help resolve the issue. And yes, Microsoft are not innocent in causing problems with updates. They have been guilty of this in the past, but this one's not them. According to many news outlets, CrowdStrike fixed the issue within hours, but plenty of users were still experiencing problems. The company's cloud-based program typically receives frequent updates, but this one had unintentional consequences. You don't say. So basically, airports weren't able to print out boarding passes, tickets, etc. They weren't able to update their boarding matrices, their digital signage. Small-scale things, digital signage in shop windows wasn't working properly. Tills may have gone down, cash registers to those of you in the States. A lot of EPOS systems run on Windows. A lot of point-of-sale runs on Windows. And any of them that you are using CrowdStrike will have gone down with this update. Basically, it caused a boot loop. A simple Google search of the fixes for it will result in telling you what to do. Some of the fixes include rebooting your system 15 times at least, and that should fix it. Trying to boot into safe mode to manually delete some files. I believe there are some downloads available that should help you. The problem being that the systems affected are all but caught in an infinite boot loop. So being able to gain access to the system to implement any of these fixes is nigh on impossible. Anyone with remote IT services are going to be in trouble because the majority of, if not all of, the fixes that I'm aware of are in-person fixes. You need to have physical access to the damaged system. This is also affecting BitLocker, because to fix the systems, you need access to your BitLocker keys, and some IT departments have been storing the BitLocker keys on separate systems, and those systems are also affected by this problem. In summary, one tiny little software update has caused a massive global IT outage. CrowdStrike, as you can understand, their reputation has taken quite the hit from this. They were immediately on it, trying to figure out a problem and apologizing for it. From what I understand through checking news outlets and so on, it is mostly resolved. If you don't use CrowdStrike, if you don't use CrowdStrike security software, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. This is not going to affect you. If you do use CrowdStrike and you've managed to escape this so far, don't update yet. Check back with CrowdStrike to see if there is an alternate update, if this update has been pulled so that you don't have this problem. This is something that keeps coming up. The more and more we are dependent on technology. I use a lot of technology, you use a lot of technology, we all use a lot of technology, but the more dependent we become on it, the more problems we're going to have when there is a problem. One simple slip, a slight mistake in the code that you've written for an update can cause a problem. One might ask, why didn't CrowdStrike make sure they had tested this update before they released it? Did they test it and it caused no problems? Did they test it on enough system variants to eliminate the possibility of problems? Is there a QC fault here? You'd have to look at further news articles or videos online to see if this information is addressed. I'm not 100% certain. It doesn't affect me, but it really shocked me when I found out that this had happened. But as I say, at the end of the day, the majority of home users aren't affected by this. If you have Crowdstrike and you have deferred an update, or you don't have the updates automatically installed and you managed to escape this so far, check with Crowdstrike, check with their customer service department, check with the website, check their blog, whatever's available, to see if this update has now been pulled so that you are safe to update. Don't just update blindly. This is why most people don't like updating their software, and they get worried about these kinds of things. It also begs the question, do we really need to have so much of our technological infrastructure around the world so centralized? But again, in short, one little software update brought millions and millions of businesses and services to a grinding halt. What could this mean in the future if something similar happens again? Discuss it in the comments below if you like. Point me in the direction of some other videos so that I can do a follow up to this. If you want me to do a follow up to this, I would like to add as an ending to this video before I sign off. The sources that I've used to put this together are ABC News, Dexerto, and the Microsoft blog. This is where I've got most of the information for this, and I have used AI to try and formulate a loose script. I don't really do scripting, but I wanted a few prompts for this video. But hopefully this has been of some help to some people, and hopefully we don't need to feel quite so panicked now with regards to this and whether or not it affects us. If you use Crowdstrike, it affects you. If you don't use Crowdstrike, it does not affect you. And would you trust Crowdstrike in the future? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your opinions on this. And as always, I will see you in the next one.